Hello students, today I will teach modern physics. Okay, modern physics, the name is modern physics, but it came into existence after 1897. Why? What happened in 1897? Electron got discovered. So, after 1897, the physics is renamed. Means before 1897 that was physics, and then from after 1897 when electron got discovered, the scientists gave the name as modern physics because electron, after discovering electron, okay, many new concepts came into pictures. So they totally named as modern physics. It's also not modern, but physics from 1897 is known as modern physics. Okay, so what are the major topics in this modern physics? In the very first, there will be photoelectric effect, then matter waves, okay, and then atomic structure. You have studied atomic structure in chemistry. Here also same thing I will teach, atomic structure. Then X-ray, one class is required for X-rays. The normal X-ray you are using in medical purpose, I will only teach about the properties of these X-rays. Then nuclear physics and radioactivity. This radioactivity is new to you. Still, I think you have studied a few things in your 10th class. Radioactivity reactions, fusion reaction, fission reaction. I will discuss also this in the end of the topic. Okay. So before going to the photoelectric effect, which will be my first topic, I want to discuss something about light. Okay. So for the very first time, Newton says light is made of particle. Okay, light is made of particle for the very first time. Then number 2, Huygens. Okay, Huygens also a scientist. You will come across in optics. Huygens said light is made of wave nature. Okay. Then number 3, another scientist came into picture, which is known as Planck. He said, no, light is again particle in nature. Then Maxwell, so I am just writing, okay, then I will explain. Maxwell, another scientist came into picture, who said again it is wave nature. So finally the scientist came into picture, de Broglie, who had a tag. He said it is both particle in nature and wave in nature. So this is known as dual nature. Particle nature, wave nature. So what I have written here, the very first time Newton said light is in particle nature. Okay, light is particle nature. Then Huygens said no, it is wave nature. Means light consists of wave nature. Then Planck, you know the Planck constant H. The Planck is another scientist. He said light is again particle in nature. So Maxwell, there are 4 scientists. 4 scientists means 2, Maxwell, Huygens are saying for wave nature, and Newton and Planck are saying for particle nature. So this is making a confusion when different scientists were saying for different things. So finally, I am writing a name of scientist de Broglie. He said that light is having both particle nature and wave nature. Both particle nature and wave nature. And since then, we are instructing the de Broglie's principle, and we are following this, that light is having both particle nature and wave nature. So finally, in modern physics, after the conclusions from the many scientists, de Broglie concluded that no, light is having both particle nature and wave nature. So this thing I need to explain here because I am going to explain photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect means you at least a idea you should have before discussing photoelectric effect. The light is a wave and also a particle. Means light carries dual property. It is a wave and it is particle, as de Broglie have said that. Okay. So before, okay, now what de Broglie said? De Broglie, the name is like that, D B R O G I L E. De Broglie. De Broglie said that if light is moving, okay, the momentum of the photon P equal to h by lambda or energy equal to hc by lambda. So these two formulas were given by de Broglie. What is the formula number 1? If I am assuming light as particle, so a smallest particle name is photon. Light as photon, that means a single particle of light is named as photon. If light is not a wave, it is a particle, and the P stands for momentum of that particle, which is equal to h by lambda. And what is lambda? Lambda is wavelength. So here again confusion arises. The what confusion? Now how the momentum is related to this lambda. Okay. So this equation relates the lambda stands for wave nature and P stands for particle nature. And again, here also have given a formula E equal to hc by lambda. So just you have to remember two formulas of de Broglie, what he had given. Momentum is nothing but h by lambda and energy is nothing but hc by lambda. Where lambda is what and c is what. Now c is the velocity of the photon. So my very first question is, what is a photon? What is a photon? A photon is the smallest amount of light, very smallest amount of light. Okay, and photon I am treating as a very small amount of light is known as photon. So if this is particle in nature and this is wave in nature, because de Broglie said, the light is having both nature. Light is having both nature. It is wave nature and it is particle nature. So as we are following this, so sometimes we will think as wave, sometimes we will think as particle. So he also gave a formula. If I am thinking as a particle, so this is the momentum of the particle and lambda is what? Lambda is the wavelength if I am thinking as wave. So again also he had given a formula of energy. What is energy? Now energy is h. You know h is a Planck's constant. This is a constant, Planck's constant. Okay. So what is c? Now the c is the velocity if it is a wave, and lambda is the wavelength if it is a wave. So like this he could able to give a relation to correlate between both the wave nature and particle nature. Here wave nature and particle nature is correlated. So since then we are assuming light is having both wave and particle. Why I said assuming? Because it is very much impossible to study light. Till now also we have failed to completely study light. Still research is going on. So here this is not the correct time to discuss everything about the light. So what I am saying, de Broglie's wavelength equation you have to remember, and de Broglie was a scientist who said that light is consisting of both character, wave character and particle character. So now it is very much clear, light is a wave character and particle character. So now I will go for photoelectric effect, which is the first topic of modern physics. Photoelectric effect. So what does this effect? This effect says that if a metal surface is there, and light is incident upon the metal surface. Okay, suppose I am incidentting light on the metal surface, then electron will get emitted from the metal surface. Simple. A metal surface is there, light is incident on the metal, incident on the metal. Okay, and the electrons are leaving the metal. So it's very simple. If I write the law, this law states that electrons get rejected or emitted from the metal surface after incidenting light with sufficient energy. Okay, if I will incident a light who doesn't have energy, with a very small energy light I will incident, then no electron will leave the surface. If light with sufficient amount of energy I will incident on a metal surface, then what happens? Then electron will leave the surface. And this process is known as photoelectric effect. And why it is known as photoelectric effect? If electrons will leave the surface, okay, if electrons will start moving, then an electric process will get started. Because you have already studied movement of electrons leads to a electric process. So electric process happens due to incident of photon. Here photon means whenever I will say photon, you have to think as light. Okay, I will take the new name of light as photon. So don't get confused in this. So photon means light is falling on the surface and electrons are moving from the surface due to the light. So this is the very simple theory, very simple concept, photoelectric effect. Light is falling, electron is leaving the surface. So what is there to teach? The laws. Okay, I will teach 3 laws of photoelectric effect. So 3 laws you have to remember. It is frequently coming, right? 3 laws of photoelectric effect. Okay, so before going to 3 laws, I need to discuss about work function, which is nothing but phi equal to HF0. And what is phi? Phi is the work function of a metal. Suppose my metal is iron, my metal is copper, my metal is different metals I can take. Okay, so for the different metals, okay, the work function value is different. And what is the work function? The work function is the minimum amount of energy required to leave the surface. By means what? Suppose this is a metal surface. Okay, I am insulating a light to the surface. Suppose I will say this is 10 joule. The energy carried by the light is 10 joule. And I will say 2 joule is the work function of this metal. Work function of the metal is 2 joule. That means what? So first it will utilize this 2 joule to break the work function. Then the rest of 8 joule will be acquired by the electron and the electron will go away. So now this 8 joule is nothing but the energy of this electron. Total energy given 10 joule. 2 joule is utilized to break the work function. So work function is basically defined as the minimum amount of energy required. The minimum amount of energy required for the metal to start the emission process. So it's very much clear. The work function of a metal is what? It's the minimum energy required by the metal. Okay, so that means I can say the law 1 is, it's a first law of photoelectric effect. Basically there are 3 laws. Okay, they will write different laws of photoelectric effect. The first law says that okay, the work function So these are the three laws. Okay, the very first law is what? The very first law is key amount of energy have to be greater than work function. Okay, if the metal is having a work function phi and you are giving a less amount of energy than the work function, then not a single electron will leave the surface. So for electrons to leave the surface, the first rule says that you have to give sufficient energy, and sufficient energy means it at least work function. If work function is given, so at least 1 2 electron can evolve out, right? So if it is greater than work function, then it is good. Many electrons will leave the surface. So HF is what? It is the energy of the light, of the photon. I can write like this. Photon, energy of the photon is HF, and phi is what? Now work function. Work function of metal. You have to remember like this. That means this is the amount of energy required for these metals to electrons to get emitted. Okay. So the second law says that number of electrons emitted directly proportional to intensity of light. That means if I increase the intensity of the light, the number of electrons who are leaving the surface will be more. If you increase the frequency, then the number of electron is not affected. Only intensity is there. Keep in mind, light is incidented over here. Okay, so light have two things. Intensity. I am saying intensity. If I particularly increase the intensity, then number of electrons emitted will be increased. Means if I will increase the suppose now this is the intensity, 2 electrons are getting out. If I will increase the intensity, then 3, then 4, then 5. So if I want to have a more number of electrons to leave the surface, I have to increase the intensity. And third is saying that kinetic energy of photon depends on frequency. Kinetic energy depends on frequency. That means kinetic energy of whom? Kinetic energy of these electrons who are leaving the surface depends on the frequency of the light incident. Okay, if you will increase the frequency of the light, then the kinetic energy of the electron will get increased. The frequency of the light is increased means kinetic energy is increased. You have to remember like this. This is the first law, this is the second law, and this is the third law. In third law, so I can summarize like this. One is HF greater than or equal to phi. Second is number of electrons directly proportional to intensity. And third is kinetic energy directly proportional to frequency. And what is the who is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy of this electron. And whose frequency? The frequency of the light incident. If the frequency of the light incident light is more, the kinetic energy of electron who are leaving will be more. Okay. So these three basic things you have to remember. And finally, I'm just doing the mathematical derivation. What is the mathematical derivation? Mathematical derivation is if W is the energy of the light, it can be written as H into F. It can written as H into F, where F is the frequency of the incident. Okay, if phi is the frequency, phi is the work function, it can written as H into F0. Okay, so as we know, kinetic energy is what? Kinetic energy I have said key. Total energy I have, my light energy is total energy, suppose 10 joule. Whatever I am incidenting is 10 joule. 2 joule is the work function. Suppose 2 joule is the work function. Then 8 joule will be the potential of the evolved electron. So I am writing K of evolved electron, K of electron, the electrons which are evolving, which are going out the surface, the K of them equal to what? This 10 minus 2, that means this W minus this phi, so HF minus HF0. I am taking H common, F minus F0. And K of electron I can take half of ME electron mass V square equal to H of F minus F0. This is a simple equation you have to remember. And this equation is known as Einstein photoelectric equation. Einstein photoelectric equation. So how the question will come? The question will come like this. They discuss about photoelectric effect and 3 laws of photoelectric effect and also derive the Einstein's equation, which will come as a long question. Long question. And for sure it will come as a question. Discuss what is photoelectric effect, discuss 3 laws, and you have to write many things. Okay, I have just written the short forms. For the 1 law you have to write 3-4 lines at least. For 2 laws, 3 laws you have to write. Then you have to derive this equation of photoelectric effect. And it's known as the Einstein equation of photoelectric effect. Okay, in the very next class I will teach about atomic structure, means atomic physics and matter waves. And do subscribe to my channel, which will obviously inspire me and motivate me to do better quality videos in future. Thank you.